I was asked to make a recording for how to do the level design assignment. So this was what it's requiring you to do. Make a game with 2 houses, at least 1 hill that's at least 3 units tall, some form of texture for the terrain, a character that can be used to explore the scene in either first or second or third person view, and some unifying theme or concept that relates to your game design document. Okay, I've not required you to make a game design document, but we will do activity inside the unit. Make a new Unity project. Give it a name you'd like. Make sure the 3D option is selected. Click Create Project. So let's go download us some free assets. So I'm going to click on the Windows component here. I'm going to choose the Asset Store. Now I'm going to pull out the Asset Store from off of here so I can see it on its own. And I'm going to maximize it. Click the Maximize button. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a 3D model. Okay, I'm going to choose the Environment tab. Well, I'm going to choose Free Only. I'm going to choose the Environment tab. Now I'm going to look for an asset called Medieval Town Exterior. Come down the page. Might be on the second page. There it is. So click on it. Might have to upgrade, so click Update. Because this requires 5.6.3 and I have 5.6.1, I need to download 5.6.3. So I'm going to have to go there. So I click back into Unity. I come down to the bottom. I click older versions of Unity. Come back to 5.x. And I'm going to download 5.6.3. Click the Unity installer. So now the download assistant pops up. So clicks next. You accept the license agreement. Click next. So you choose between the 64-bit and the 32-bit. Now it depends what kind of a computer you have. I have a 64-bit. Well, how do I know that? I click on my Microsoft button. I find Control Panel. Up here in the search bar, I put version. So here I have under System, show what operating system your computer is running. I click on that. And here it tells me mine is a 64-bit system, but yours might be a 32-bit system. So I click 64 for me. Like I said, yours might be 32. So I click Next. So I check all the things that I want. I'm going to put the example project in there again, standard assets, documentation, and I just click Next. I'll click Next again. So I'm going to close my my personal edition here. It's going to download the newest update. I'm going to go and download again my medieval town exteriors. Perhaps you don't have this link and you might have to go back into the asset store and find it again. So I can click Asset Store. Once again, go 3D Models. Once again, go Free Only. And go Environments. Now, some of you may be doing a big eye roll and saying, you know, I don't want to do this download again. Well, if you can find another exterior to use besides medieval towns, go ahead. But make sure that you have that it's compatible with your update. So now I'm going to click on this Add to Downloads. I'm going to sign in with my Unity. So now I just click Open in Unity. And I go into my game. I'm going to try Continue. So I get a new version queue, so I click that. So now I go into my downloads and I execute my upgrade. And I click Yes. And click Next. I accept the terms and I click Next. I click Next. I click Next. And I'm going to close my application. So now I can see that there's my medieval town. I come on down and click Update. So now I'm going to click Import. So now I can see the medieval town in my assets and I can close this. So I pull it out, then I click X. Now I want to create a new terrain, so I click on the Game Object menu and select the 3D Object Terrain. So if it's not centered on the screen, click on the 3D view to bring that window into focus. I'm scrolling back. I'm using my mouse scroll bar so I can see more my terrain here. So now that I've navigated the 3D space and viewed it from different perspectives, I can switch around with this little ball here and see it from different directions. And click here on Inspector. And click on the hand and back this up a piece. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some terrain. I'm going to make some mountains and stuff. So I'm going to click the up button to create some mountains. Now this one raises it or lowers it. And to lower it, I hold down the Shift key. And this next one is the paint height. This allows you to select a specific height, then paint it on areas of the terrain. It raises them or lowers them. It's great for creating a flat area of ground. This is a smooth height. It smooths out the area of terrain. If things are looking diagonal or jagged, it gives it a more natural look to your surface. Paint texture. This is what we're going to use to paint grass on our terrain here. And this one is to place trees. Now we don't have any trees selected. I could always download some trees if I wanted to. I could always go into assets, right? And I could import package. And click environment and select the objects I wanted, like water or trees or whatever. But don't download the whole thing. There's just makes your file really heavy with objects that you're not going to use, okay? So we're going to click on the terrain, and I'm going to decide what kind of a brush I want to use. I'm going to have a medium-sized brush here, and you're just going to drag on the terrain and put some mountains in here. Just kind of scribble wherever you'd like. I can vary it, put different brush strokes on it here and there, give it a varied look. Maybe a big one here or two. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to come on in. Yeah, it looks like more like Mars than it does a place somebody lives. So let's smooth this down a little bit, shall we? I click this smooth down feature, and I'll just scribble over it. It should kind of smooth things out a little bit, give it a more natural look. Take down some of these really highs. So it looks more like snow, right? Now I'm going to go into an area where I want my town to be, and I'm going to flatten it. So I click the flatten button, and I got to come in here, flatten down an area, put my town. Okay, this is my plateau. So I'm going to paint some texture on my terrain. So I click my paintbrush, and I have an edit textures that appears down here, so I click that. And I click add texture. So I click the one that says albedo, and I click select. You can select either the grassy rocks or the grass. I'm just going to select grass. So I click, here it is right here, so I click add. So you notice it covered it all over here. So now I want to add also the rocks. So I click Edit Textures again. I click Add Texture. And I click up here under Albedo again and select that. And I click Grassy Rocks. Okay, now I'm going to click up here, Grassy Rocks, and I click Add. So now I have the grassy rocks here. So now with my paintbrush, I can paint grassy rocks wherever I want them. I'm going to scatter it here and there. And you can do this, you can create a lake too. Once again, we're not going to do this in here. But now I'm done with textures for now. And you can always play around with the brush size here. Opacity. Opacity makes something see-through like glass. Or different degrees of see-through. Just keep it where it is. So now we're going to zoom in. Because now it's time to add some buildings, right? So I click back on Assets here. Go back into Medieval Towns. Now you look for my folder called Prefabs. Open that up. Now remember our directions said we wanted to add 3 buildings. So let's put our 3 buildings up. Here's a building A. So now if I want to switch that building around, I just click this switch around thing and I get to where the angle is. Don't let it sit in the ground like that. You can turn it around to whatever position you want it to face, okay? And now I can put another building in here. Here's building B. Once again, I can turn this guy around. Maybe need to flatten the ground a little better, but there you go. Now I'm going to put my 3rd building in. So I'm going to choose my 3rd house. And I'm going to put it there. Now I can also add some things around. I can put a barrel around. All kinds of things. There's fences, there's hay. There's different kind of rocks. Put a well up. It's yours, right? Maybe put a sign on a building. Now I want to save my screen file so I don't lose any of my work. So I just go File, Save Screen. And I'm going to give it a unique file name. I'll just put town. Click Save. So now I'm going to make my levels interactive. In the menu, I'm going to click on Assets. I'm going to click on Import Package. And I click on Characters. Now I'm going to click Select All. click Import. So now I'm going to go back under Project View. And I should see a Standard Assets folder under here. So I click the Standard Assets down here. So I'm going to find a subfolder called Character Controllers. And I'm going to choose first person. Drag an instance of it onto the screen. So now I play the play button. I need to fix some stuff, don't I? Need to fix my house here. So I can use my arrow key. Go forward and backward. So what I did was I went inside Standard Asset folder. Let me stop the movie. Click Escape. So I could see where, as if I was the person of the character. Now I had a house that wasn't sitting right, so I click on the house that wasn't sitting right over here. And I try and fix that where it's not in the ground. Takes a little playing with this to get it right. You know, look, there is a character again. You know, look around. And now that house is sitting on the ground. Now once again, what do I want to do? I click Escape to get out of the view. And now what I can do is I can add other things. I can import some trees and put them down there if I want. But what do I do about the assignment? Okay, there's two things that you can do. A lot of people like to take a picture of what they've done. And the way to take a picture is to do this. You go down into your Microsoft button. And you're going to find something called a snipping tool. And snipping tool is in your Windows accessory. Click Open Windows Accessory. And find your snipping tool. Then what you do is you click New. And take a picture of everything. Make sure that I can see that you're in this and you're not just taking a snapshot of some random picture, right? And then just go Save. It's my project. Put it where you can find it. The other option you can do is you can save and zip this entire game and put it in the folder. So where is this saved? I go File, Save. Save Scenes. I go File, Save Project. Go File. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to open a project. This is going to tell me where my game is saved. It's in the C path. In the public folder, users public folder. I'm going to open up a folder view. I'm going to I click my Windows button, and I'm going to find File Explorer. You just open up any folder. You can navigate through any folder. Now, where does it tell me this is? This tells me this is Users, Path C. So I go to Path C. This is under Users, so I find Users. Tells me it's in Public, so I open up Public. It says Public Documents, so I open up Public Documents. It says it's in Unity Projects, so I open up Unity Projects. And there it is. It's called My Game 2. So I right-click My Game 2, and I click Send To. Send to Compressed Zip Folder. So this will zip your project. So now what I do is I take the project, the zip project, and I copy it. And I open up my desktop, and I right-click, and I paste it right on my desktop. Now I can submit it, find it to submit it to my Dropbox. And you're done.